When I was a kid, I remember being asked on a number of occasions, a number of uncomfortable occasions, who do you think you are? And as you might imagine, there's no good answer to that question. You don't say, the king of Siam. You don't say something else flippant, because chances are the reason the question is being asked in the first place is that you're in trouble. Certainly that was, in my case, why it happened. Someone's supremely annoyed. And so the question is sort of designed to provoke, uh, some response of contrition and the desire to uh, make reparations. But actually, it's a profound question. Who do we think we are? If we actually examine it from that standpoint, we find all kinds of interesting suppositions, assumptions that are entirely false, that are entirely unhelpful to our spiritual life, to our actual self-identity. I saw a bumper sticker some years ago that was actually quite profound. It said, "You are not your story." And I thought, wow, that really made me think. You are not your story. We think we are our story. We think all this history that's led up to this moment makes us who we are. Even a child growing up will have a certain body of experience in their life that leads them to think, okay, well, I'm this kind of person. I live in this kind of family. I'm dedicated to this kind of life or desire or dream. If you if you go to a child and you ask, uh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm still, many decades into my life, I'm still sort of conjuring the question, what do I want to be when I grow up? Well, how about self-realized? How about beyond all the identifications of gender, race, culture, nationality, age, financial package, health situation, relationship status, all the things that we can sort of categorize statistically? We're none of those things. All of those things will be wiped away. Walk through a cemetery sometime and imagine all the drama, all the dreams, all the lives, and all the difficulties and hopes and dreams, fulfilled or unfulfilled. And they all lie there, and it's all, in a sense, been wiped away. Who are we? I thought to answer this question on a profound level, because who we are, Dharmadas, Nirmala, Ananda, Sacramento, who we are is disciples of a great master. And we were trained, and I'll just show you the great master and the book that he wrote, that is, of course, an enormous classic in the world of spiritual literature, Autobiography of a Yogi. I highly recommend it. He gave us a spiritual life and a spiritual tradition that is highly relevant to the days that we live in, highly connected to the life that we lead today in a world of energy. We were trained by his direct disciple, Swami Kriyananda, author of this book, The New Path. In the era when I read the book in the late 1970s, this was just simply called The Path. Now he rewrote it in the late 2008, 9, 10 time frame and called it The New Path. But it's the story of his life, but it's really the story of the life of a disciple, the life of a devotee, the life of the soul, in a sense, because he's really sharing our journey. I, in reading that book, had a very profound experience. It got me on the path, got me interested in Yogananda, who I didn't know anything about at that time. And he was asking questions about, does life have meaning? He was asking so many questions that I was asking. His own path in life was quite different from mine. Born in Europe, I was born in America. He was raised learning many languages, being in many cultures, never quite belonging to any of them. And yet the questions he was asking were the same ones that I was asking. So we are disciples of a great master who brought a mission to help this world in a new age. An age, yes, of uncertainty, especially in these days around coronavirus and so forth, but an age where people are much more aware of energy, much more aware of possibility. A child could grow up in a rural village in India, in China, in some country in the world, in poverty, in perhaps dire poverty. They could go on to become the president of that country. They could go on to become a Nobel Prize winner. They could go on to become a saint. All kinds of transformation is possible in this age because we are connected with energy, because we are learning to operate that energy. And I don't just mean in terms of the world of petroleum and electricity and all the sort of more outward forms of energy that help us function in this world. I also mean energy on the inside that help us operate prana, life force in our own bodies, because this is how we connect with that outer world of energy that we are starting to understand, that science is starting to show us is energy. This world, the matter that we see around us, even space itself is made out of energy. It's a concept that sort of boggles our minds when we try to think in terms of all the things that we can touch and see and experience through our senses. And science is saying it's all energy, it's all magnetism, it's all forms of energy flowing and operating and going into and out of existence. And all of it is operated by consciousness. So we're part of a great movement of energy. Yes, we are an organization, but we're a very unorganizational organization. Our job is to help people. Our job is to support people. And we take great joy and pride in doing that from the sense of self-offering. Swami Kriyananda was a disciple of Yogananda for the last 65 years of his life, and he never thought of himself as a guru. He never promoted himself as a guru. He promoted himself as a disciple because he wanted to give the world the example of discipleship. And so we also are disciples. We also follow in that tradition, which is to say that we are students of life, students of spiritual growth, and that we share what we've learned. We try to help people on the basis of what we have actually experienced inside of ourselves. And it is a great privilege and honor to be able to do that in this world. It's a great blessing. It is our own path to freedom. And so that's a short answer to who we are. It's not something that we sort of claim huge organizational numbers, although those numbers are growing. And I believe they will grow into the millions in time. But that isn't the point. Large organizations are not somehow better than small organizations. It's really the depth of the experience that each individual can have. And we're dedicated to giving profound experience, profound growth and transformation to people who are interested in that. And we offer it freely and from our hearts. And it's a great blessing to be able to share what we've learned and the blessings that we've been given. God bless you.